Okay, so how is it having a little baby, a little newborn?
He is the best energy for our household.
So you have two.
Yes, so we
You have
have our
two.
8-year-old and we have a 4-month-old now. And Baker is just wild, off the wall. He's inquisitive, and Sykes is just this little bundle of laid back. He is my husband wrapped up in a baby. And
I love that. That's so good. I can't believe, I mean, Baker looks so old. And I mean, he's like a little dude, like walking around in his New Balances, checking out what you're doing on your design projects. It's amazing.
he goes in, he brings the blue tape, and he'll take the blue tape, and anywhere he sees an imperfection, he will stick it. And he is not scared to tell anybody, like, he sees something going on. So, yeah, he's definitely growing up in the business.
That is so cute. And how cool that they have you and your husband as an example to watch as they grow up. That's sweet. How cool.
Yeah, it really is. Very cool.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like folks have started to hop on, and we're ready to go on this Friday morning. So, MC, would you like to introduce our friend and our guest this morning?
I would love to do that. So we have Christina Cuningham here with us, Christina Baker Cuningham, which is where her sweet little baker's name came from. Christina is the owner of Beaufort Linen, which I'm sure you guys have all heard of. And y'all, if you don't already follow them, I mean, you've got to get on Instagram and follow them. It's my favorite, just kind of watching the stories and seeing what's going on. So Christina has just an incredible eye. She and her husband, Richie, own the store, and they just stock it with the most incredible home, just wonderful textiles and a kind of out of the box accessories and all different sorts of things that you don't see anywhere else. Art, just incredible stuff. And then of course, they've also got the design side of their business where Christina is just really killing it and so busy. And, you know, I know we've got a project going on right now where we have several owners who are working with Christina to totally kind of put together and pull together what they're looking for in their coastal spaces. So she's in very high demand, and rightfully so. And we are thrilled to have a few minutes of her time. So thank you, Christina. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yay. Yay.
To get out of the house and not be in a construction zone. So this is fun.
I love that. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, so Christina, I think, you know, tell us a little bit about kind of what got you to the point where you and Richie are opening Beaufort Linen on Front Street.
Well, so him and I have finance backgrounds, and that's where we met in Raleigh. So I was working in personal wealth management with NFL football players, and then my husband was working on the retirement things. And I did that 6 years. He was in it for 13. Very different divisions of that company, privately held. We loved it there. But he had a place down here, and we would come every single weekend, even to the point where I love football, and he was coming during football season, and I didn't understand that. And I do could totally understand that now. But we were renovating this place on the beach, and through renovating it, found that I just couldn't find the things that I loved down, at the time. Since then, so many great shops have opened in places, but at that time, there just really wasn't. And then also, I just fell in love with the process of it. And it got down to the point where we would, as soon as the market would close Friday at 4, we would zoom down here from Raleigh. We would spend every moment down here on the weekends. We had it to a science. We'd get off the boat on Sunday. I would get packed up. He would flush the motor. We would get in the car. We would get home till 10:30. And I got to the point where I was just like, you know what, Richie, this is ridiculous. Why aren't we living where we love and doing something I love? So I really started taking an inventory of what my passions were and what my gifts were. And I felt like Beaufort Linen just felt natural. And so I presented the idea to Richie, and he is always likes to look at things from all sides, but is such a cheerleader for me. He has always listened to what I have to say and supports me endlessly. And we were sitting at Finn's across the street, which is literally, I'm looking at it right now, having a burger on a Sunday afternoon. And we saw the sign come up at the Old Bell's drugstore. That's where we're in. This is our space. And we called Beaufort Realty and said, hey guys, we are so trepidatious right now just about this idea, but we're investigating it, what's going on, and got the information. And sweet Johnny Duncan next door, he held this space for us for 3 months while we figured it all out. And that's how Beaufort Linen was born. We opened on Black Friday. No clue what we were doing. Just just like, if we're going to do it, let's just do it, guys.
Right. Pick the biggest day of the year. Yeah. Go big, go home.
Like, if this inventory is, if it's not going to sell, it's not going to sell. But we were blown out of the water. And Richie was still working in Raleigh at that time. And at that point, that's when we realized that we had kind of really hit the nail on the head. And he stayed back for a little bit longer, and eventually he ended up leaving and coming down here to help me with the business. So that's how we got started anyway.
That's so cool. I love that. One of the things that's really impressed me about what you guys have done is that during COVID, y'all have really pivoted. I think you already had a strong online presence, Christina. I know that you do that yourself. I can tell because it's your voice everywhere. I mean, Christina is both a friend and a client, and so she's somebody that we know. So I can recognize that it's your voice, and it's so cute and fun and personal when you're commenting on everything. But what you've done is really kind of transformed your business so that it's been this huge online just boom, I think that you've experienced. And now that you're able to be open again in the store, I mean, what a cool thing. I think that's something that when small businesses have figured that out, I think it's so neat to see, because I can imagine, I mean, what's the impact that that's had for you guys in terms of kind of, your success?
Well, we got a test run for that with Hurricane Florence.
Right.
We were closed for 2 to 3 weeks. And at that point, I had already gotten in touch with our team inland and, my tech guys and my behind the scenes people. And I said, listen, this is what's happening. I want to have a plan A, B, and C. If this happens, we're knocked out completely. This is plan A, plan B, plan C.
Right.
And so I got a test run for that. And the amount of love that we received, I mean, just people, like you said, like it is my voice. This is not disingenuous. This is my absolute passion. This business, I eat, breathe, sleep it. And so that transferred into all of that correspondence after that. And that was a great test trial for having to be closed for 2.5 months. But it also showed us an untapped part of our business that really, truly have had a great time honing in on and developing since that event. So it was, it's always part of living at the coast is you have to watch out for hurricanes, but part of being a business owner is you always have to be able to evolve and jump back and listen. You always have to listen to what your customers are saying to you. And
right. And I think, sometimes when I come in the store, it can be overwhelming to your senses because everything, it smells good and everything's beautiful and things are layered on top of each other and there are little treasures hiding everywhere. So sometimes, I'll go in and get some things, but then I'll go home and I'll be looking on Instagram and you'll have something that was right there, but I didn't even see it, and I'll think, oh, well, okay. I love that. And then I love the commentary. I love the one recently where you showed us what you would look like if you were a chair. That made me happy.
Do certain things and like I'm always hunting, like I'm always searching for things that I haven't seen before, and I was like, whoa, if I was a chair, that'd be me. Like
I mean, I love that. So Christina, walk us through, like, what's the process when you connect with a new design client? I know that's something that you're really focusing a lot of your time on. So for example, we've got these 4 townhouses at Wind Fair in Atlantic Beach that are under construction now. They're awesome. And I know that you've got 4 of those, I think, that you're working on for those buyers to get those ready. So what does that look like? I mean, how do you start that process?
So it's always an organic process to begin with. For the most part, people come in the store and they get to know me and they might buy a necklace. And then, down the line, they're like, okay, well, now I need to redecorate my house. And so kind of got a rapport going on. And generally, it's really getting to know those people because every space is different and every function is different. And I really like to spend that first time, aside from measuring, because I measure everything a million times, getting to know the clients so that if they love to let their dog sleep on the couch, that they don't have to stop doing that. Or if they have kids that they know they can't watch every second or don't want to inhibit, that we can put some furnishings together that make sense for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's our biggest thing, is really working in the function part. And then the personality, it's so fun to see what collections people have, like as far as art or things they've gotten on travels that we can repurpose and make look like a collection, not just like you walked in and it's a showroom that dumped on it. It's just want it to be really different each space.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that. And then I think that's such a cool thing, because I think that when people think about coastal decor, sometimes they think about it being, like a box, that this is coastal and this isn't. And I love it. You can tell by following along with what you do that each space is very personal and warm and relates to the person. And I know one of the things that I think you're a master at is kind of changing things up seasonally. So I know that's something that you guys are busy doing in the store. What kind of tips do you have for us now that fall is here, as far as how to kind of pumpkin spice up our spaces?
Well, so funny you say pumpkin spice, because we always say that it's ocean pumpkin season, and I don't know, you featured these.
Love.
The scape that y'all did was absolutely insane. Kudos. And all the little things that came together, I mean, just beautiful. But this is the elusive ocean pumpkin. There's one left. I had to grab it. It's already sold because it was sitting in the back for local pickup. I hope this client doesn't mind, but we are getting another batch of these, but it's insane. As soon as they come in, they go right out. Obvious, you've got your obvious things like this that really say, okay, coastal, it's a pumpkin, coastal fall. But, the other thing I think that people forget, that once it gets cooler, is like layering your textiles, having extra blankets around to take out on the docks, getting some great like baskets to roll up blankets that you can take outside. Smart. And then also for your linens is freshening up, like I have duvets that I use for seasons that have different weights to them. So it's important to remember, those are the things that you don't realize you're treating yourself to that make such a difference in your sleep and your happiness. Yeah. So freshening up your duvets, your pillows, adding your layers of blankets. I think we forget sometimes it's all pumpkins and we have to put wreaths up, but it's also dressing your house for the season.
And it just it goes back to what you were saying before about how you like to learn more about your clients when you design for them. It's all about functionality. And I really love that about you, is that you're preaching functionality and things that will actually impact your life versus look pretty. Because we love the look pretty things, of course, but I really like how everything's all about function for you. That's cool.
I do too.
Yeah,
I totally
agree. I have
a
dog and 2 kids now, so I feel like
I know. That's yeah. Christina helped me recently redo the linens and everything that's on my bed. And I remember I loved, Christina said, "I promise you, I have this. It can go right in the washing machine when the dogs jump on your bed, when the kids are in your bed." I mean, it's so great because I felt comfortable picking something that was white. I mean, thinking these things because Christina was able to say, you put it right in the dryer. You don't need to worry about it, which makes you feel, because who wants something that you can't sit on or can't use or can't,
It's not life, you have to live in it. That's the whole representation of your house should be like your family and your friends and your doggies. And, it should all come together that way. So
I love that. I think that's so true. That's so true. Well, Meg, I know that you've got some rapid fire questions.
Yes, I do.
That we're going to take to Christina. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's hear them.
All right. So question number 1 is, what has been your biggest career challenge in your current role?
I would say, aside from hurricanes and pandemics, because those two time I turn around, this one becomes a little more personal for me. I think becoming a mother and a business owner, it was more of a thought process than in reality, because I was so worried that I would lose the passion for this business once I had children. And that thought process was scary at first, but it's so contrary. I love this business more than ever, and it's become such a wonderful thing for my children to see how much I love it. Baker calls this place the cozy store. He came up with that all on his own. I don't know where it came from, but he's always like, "Mama, you going to the cozy store?" And he sees how my eyes light up about this place, and he sees how much Mama loves what she does. And it's been a great opportunity to show them work ethic. And also for me to learn boundaries, because just because I love this place doesn't mean that I can't, you sometimes have to shut it off. And so that was a challenge at first, becoming a mother, just mentally. But then once I had him, and now this, I have Sykes, my sweet little 4-month-old, it wasn't a challenge. It ended up being a blessing,
Yeah, and even, no matter how little they are, they can always pick up on if mommy and daddy are happy. So that's huge for any age. So going right along with that, what has been, in your opinion, your biggest career success?
I think it would have to tie into that. I mean, it feels like interviews where I'm like, my biggest flaw, what my positive is.
That I care too much. I care too much.
That is what it is. Like being a mother and a business owner and, you know, starting several businesses within our business.
Sure.
I think that's been my biggest career, just feather in my hat, is feeling like I have rocked this place and done it while still being a mother. And you know, that's not to say that there's not days that I feel like one gets neglected, because you can't be everything to all things at all times. But I've learned to really put up boundaries that allow me to be most effective in the times that I do work. And then when I am with my children now, I'm getting used to that still, but when I'm with them, I am fully a mother.
Yeah.
So that has been a really good exercise for me since becoming a mom.
I love that. That gave me goosebumps. That's sweet. So when people come into the Cozy store, aka Beaufort Linen, how do you hope that they feel when they come into your shop?
I just hope they feel appreciated, because, you know, I preach this to my staff, who they're so wonderful every single day, that you really have to be appreciative that someone's taking the time to walk through your door.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're going through in their day. You don't know what they're struggling with. You might be the only smile they get that entire day. And if you can give them that and make them feel appreciated because they are taking their time to spend it with you, that is all I want them walking away feeling, is that we're thankful for them.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's really, really sweet. And then while they're in the shop and you're in there too, what do you most recommend to them? Like, what's your favorite item that you have in the shop right now?
So it's funny, like I came in a different outfit today. I looked at my outfit, I was like, this looks kind of summery. So I changed my entire outfit when I walked in the shop because I loved this. But, you know, I think really everything that I curate for this store is I'm equally excited about. Now some things come in and I get like real amped, like some art, because you know you can never get that again. I'm just like, man, why did I sell that? But then I know it's going to a good home, you know, it's like they've got something wonderful. So
right.
It varies by day, but I really will say I'd spend a lot of concerted effort making sure the items that are in here are well curated.
So if someone came in and they were about to go to a dinner party that night and they wanted a hostess gift, is there something in your shop right now that someone could drive to Beaufort Linen and grab it as a hostess gift? What would you recommend?
Yeah. So I picked out, this is really weird, but I love salt shakers. Salt and pepper.
Cute! Yeah.
It's an unexpected, but like it makes me feel so adult when I have like salt and pepper in a shaker.
Those are also in our tablescape, Christina. Those were the stars. Yeah.
It makes me so happy too. But this worked out perfectly. So I always keep like little salt and pepper shakers around. And sometimes they're like little ginger jars or little food dogs, but these are little shakers, and I think they're little shakers, you know.
I would have never thought to do that. I always think like flowers or wine or whatever, but that's something that's functional. Hello.
Yeah. Well,
cute.
You share dinner with them later and y'all can like be together when you're using up. You know, I always think about stuff like that. So
yeah.
That's my items right now.
Oh, I love that. Those are awesome. And Christina, we have our final question, and it might not be rapid fire, but that's okay. But our final question, we ask all of our guests the same question, and it comes from a podcast that we listen to. And it is, what is saving your life right now?
My staff.
Oh.
Literally.
All of that. No pause, no thought.
You do that real quick.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do this without them. You know, they allow me to grow this business and to be with my family. And that is paramount to success, is feeling like you have fulfillment in both areas. And I could not do it without the girls that help me. I mean, they are just rock stars.
You have awesome girls. They're every time I go in, they're so great.
They really are. So that would be my answer. And coffee's great, but my staff.
I love that. That's so good. And I know how much you mean that. And I think that that's such a wonderful thing, that it really does. It takes a village, and it takes a village, I know, to keep something as wonderful as you guys have going. And so if people that are watching aren't familiar with the store, of course, they can visit you guys right there on Front Street. And then would you say that Instagram is the best place to send people if they want to kind of get in on the fun?
I would. I mean, we post the same thing to Facebook as well. So I know some people prefer one platform over the other, but if we get something new, you're going to see it on one of those two places.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. It's so great. I mean, I really do. I love following along with all that stuff. It's so much fun. It's my favorite.
Me too.
You do a fantastic job, Christina. So thank you very much. And thank you for giving us some of your time today. We really appreciate it. We know how busy you are.
Well, thanks, girls.
Thanks, Christina.
All
Thanks,
right.
Christina. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, man.
She always makes me happy whenever I leave a conversation with her. She's sweet.
I know. I totally agree. And I think, to me, one of the things that's really inspiring about Christina is how much she loves what she does.
Yeah. It's contagious.
It is contagious. It is contagious. And it's so easy to go in there and get really excited about, what's there. And I love that you can engage with her and say, okay, here's what my space looks like. Let me send you a picture of it, or let me show you a picture of, what kind of bath towels do you recommend, or what, or would this work in this little corner, or, just like you said, what's a great hostess gift?
Sure. And I also really love how she said, when I asked her how she hopes people feel when they walk into the shop, I was honestly expecting something like, oh, I hope they feel cozy or warm or like really excited. But she said, I hope they feel appreciated. And I was like, that just goes to show how she and her staff they care about the people, they're super relational, not transactional. We were just talking about that earlier, but they practice what they preach. So I really love going in there. Good peeps.
I do too. That place is a gym.
It is.
Yeah. It is. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Meg. Are you getting amped up for the weekend? I don't know what is going to happen with this crazy weather that we've been having.
I know. I guess, I've been seeing some stuff on Instagram from folks in Florida. It literally seemed just like Florence was here. Yeah. So they said it was a category 1 versus 2, and it just stayed. So our thoughts are out with those people, because we were literally in those shoes 2 years ago.
Right. Right.
Wow.
I know. That really is crazy. Well, Meg, tell me what is saving your life.
Oh, I think going right along those lines, every day on my Facebook memories, it pops up like a new thing. And a lot of them lately have been about Hurricane Florence 2 years ago and kind of the relief efforts and stuff like that. So I think what's saving my life is the fact that we have power right now. We don't have a hurricane here at this moment. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on my desk right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I'm just really thankful to see how much things have been built back in 2 years. And it's also humbling to see that a lot of stuff isn't built back yet. So I'm just really thankful to have a roof over my head right now. And that's saving my life.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good. I think gratitude, being grateful and knowing, I think that's awesome.
What about you?
I think mine's kind of hard to verbalize, but I think mine is, I know this week, Meg, just like you were saying, we've been having a lot of conversations within our team. Mm-hmm. I've been feeling this sense of, things feel like that they've changed a lot this year, and it feels like that it's a time of a lot of intense change right now. It feels like it's a time for growth, and a lot of times in order to grow, you kind of have to break some things, right? You have to break them to let them rise back and put them back together. And I think a lot of times that means hard conversations, and that means, being authentic. And sometimes that really means being raw, right? And so I think I'm grateful that I have people who will do that with me and go into that space. And I think that means you guys on the team and my family and my friends and people who will give you the space to not just be surface, right? But figure out what do we all really want out of our relationships and out of our day-to-day experiences? What are we looking for? And sometimes that means it gets tough before it gets better. But I think it's great to have that opportunity.
Me too. You perfectly verbalized that. You said you didn't know how.
I don't know. Well, just kind of it's a little bit tough, but I think growth is messy. We say that all the time. And I think that is also personal growth, right?
Totally. But it would be wrong or weird if it wasn't hard before it got better. So thankfully, what we're going through and what I'm sure a lot of other folks are going through is 100% normal. And that's just how you grow. So.
Yep. Well, I love that. Well, here's to a weekend that I hope is full of rest for all. That's exactly right. But first caffeine, and then rest for all. Yeah. Thanks, Meg. Thanks for doing this with me.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.